What's up, people? Joe Winko here, your favorite Hawaiian guy, and here's my next episode of Joe Winko Talk. So, this is gonna be quite a random episode of Joe Winko Talk, as they all kind of are, really. I'm gonna be talking about a lot of stuff, but I'm gonna try to keep it all in line, I guess, in lack of better terms, but isn't that what I'm known for? Me and the crazy stuff that goes on inside my autism mind? But let's begin. So, as you guys should know by now, I live in the state of Florida, and I absolutely love living in the state of Florida. It's really nice here and everything. I used to live in Wisconsin before then, and we went down to visit Florida way back in year 2016. That was before I moved to Florida. Well, before my adoptive parents sent me down here to live with their relatives. And I remember I tried eating octopus for the first time. And I always been afraid of octopuses, but I felt like I was conquering my fears because we went out to this seafood restaurant and octopus was on the menu and I ordered it. And the thing was, I actually thought it was really good. And it was funny because back when I was a little kid, I would always be afraid of octopuses, and I'm still kind of afraid of them right now. They freak me out. And I always thought octopuses would eat me, but instead I was eating an octopus, so I felt badass for doing that. And then, after moving to Florida, I found this video. Now, this video wasn't filmed in Florida at all. This video was filmed in China. This is a video of a girl trying to eat a live octopus. But then it ended up attacking her. And it's been going around online, and I thought it was really funny, so I wanted to do a video about it, and I wanted to show it to you guys, because it's kind of fucked up. Alright, let me just load it up real quick. Let me just find it. Here it is. Now I'm gonna start it right now. Okay. 3, 2, 1, now. Gosh. That's a good way to get rid of blackheads, at least. Damn. Ugh. Oh, gosh.
老铁，你们看我这个脸，真的，哦，毁容了。你看看这个吸力，我天哪！你看，这个吸力跟大狗盆，特别大的这个盆，铁的。
Alright, so, like, she got famous after... Okay, she deserves it for doing something that stupid and dangerous like that. She's so desperate to get famous. This is what Chinese people are typing about her. Gosh. That's messed up, isn't it? So, yeah, that girl tried eating an octopus, and it obviously didn't go so well for her. Now... the thing is, aren't there animal cruelty laws in China? Wouldn't that be considered animal cruelty to try to eat a live octopus? I mean, I'm pretty sure if someone did that in the USA, they'd probably get in trouble for it if they were trying to film it and post it online. I'm not exactly sure, but perhaps that's another thing we can talk about in the comments, since that's the whole point of my YouTube videos, to start a conversation with you guys. And another thing is, how the hell did this girl get a hold of a live squid or a live octopus? What the fuck did she do? Did she, like, go out to the ocean and, like, pull it out of the water herself? I mean, seriously. I hope she didn't, like, get it from a pet shop or something, because that'd be really fucked up if they were doing that to animals they sell at pet shops. But it's really messed up. And you know, as much as I hate to admit this, honestly, the sad thing is, that girl is actually really pretty, and I think she's really adorable. Let me show you her picture again. Okay, not the one with the octopus sucking her face, but this one. Look at her. She's really pretty. And the sad thing is, she felt like she had to do that to get famous. I mean, who the fuck thinks of eating a live octopus? But that's the whole reason why she did it, because she's like a streamer and a YouTuber, apparently. I mean, I didn't even know people over in China actually did that at all. But she wanted to be famous, and that's why she did it. And the sad thing is, it actually worked, because there were a lot of people watching that video, and a lot of people insulting her and leaving mean comments about her. And it's kind of sad, really. I myself actually never want to be famous at all, and I actually explained this in my first episode of Joe Winko Talk for year 2020, that why I never want to become famous at all, and I'll have a link to that video in the pinned comments. Basically, all I want are just a couple people who actually listen to the stuff I have to say, and actually comment on the stuff I have to say, and actually start a conversation with me about the stuff I talk about, or about anything else I post on YouTube. That's really the whole point of all my videos, honestly. But getting back to this girl, I don't know who she is, and I don't know what her name is, but isn't there a better way for her to become famous? And as a matter of fact, I actually do have one really interesting way she can become famous. So, as you guys all know, I really love horror movies, and I really love scary movies. Recently, I was going through my scary movie collection, and I forgot that I had both of these movies, but these, Ju-On and Ju-On 2. I love these movies. I had them since I was a little kid. For those of you who never heard of Ju-On, you guys ever heard of the movie The Grudge from 2004 with Sarah Gellar, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the girl who played Buffy the Vampire Slayer in the series? Ju-On is basically like the Japanese version of The Grudge. It's The Grudge is kind of a remake of Ju-On, and I thought it was a bit weird because usually when you see remakes of a horror movie, they don't come out till long after the original came out. Ju-On came out in year 2002. Ju-On 2 came out in year 2003. And then The Grudge with Sarah Gellar came out in 2004. So that's a pretty short time to make a remake. However, I mean, basically Ju-On, it's kind of the same story, but it has a couple more things in it than The Grudge with Sarah Gellar did. It's basically almost the same movie, except with Japanese people instead of American people, really. That's basically the difference. But it does have quite a bit more than The Grudge, honestly. More to its story and everything. So the reason why I'm bringing that up is, as you guys should also know about me, how I got famous on YouTube, in lack of better terms. Well, not really YouTube famous, but pretty decently well known on YouTube. The reason why is because I make a lot of scary videos with The Sims. And the reason why I always made videos with The Sims is because I always wanted to make like a live action video. I never really wanted to become like a big time Hollywood director, honestly. But I always wanted to make like a live action fan film, like ones based off of Freddy Krueger or Jason Voorhees, and also Ju-on or The Grudge. And in the Grudge movies and in the Ju-on movies, basically what they're about is they're about a haunted house with this Asian woman, this Asian ghost woman, going around killing people and hunting them down and everything. And it's pretty terrifying, really. I saw those movies back when I was a little kid, and those movies always freaked me out and scared me back when I was a little kid. But nowadays, I actually think the Asian woman is really pretty. I mean, don't get me wrong, I actually don't like females at all, never did. I mean, I think girls are pretty, but I wouldn't want to with any of them, seriously. I mean, no offense to any girls watching this video. I only like guys, so yeah. But getting back to the Grudge, here's a couple pictures of her. Right here. Wow, that does look really fucked up and creepy. And here's another picture of her right here. She is creepy, but she's actually really pretty too. I mean, back when I was a little kid, she always, like, haunted my nightmares, but nowadays I just think she's really pretty. But don't get me wrong, she still kind of creeps me out a bit. I always liked the Grudge movies. I thought it was interesting because I never usually thought that females were scary at all, honestly. Like, because if you look at all the horror movie villains, it's always a guy, like Candyman or Freddy Krueger or Jason Voorhees. But in The Grudge, they actually made it a woman, a female killer who was going around killing people, and she does it pretty savagely, really. Like, in the American remakes, it's more violent, really. But in the Grudge movies, they say that the victims die from fear, but it seems more like in the American movies, like, she literally goes to town and, like, mutilates her victims and everything, and it's pretty fucked up. Yeah, of course in the American movies, they'd show more gore. I always wanted to make a fan movie based off of The Grudge, and I never been able to make a real live-action video because of my autism. I apparently don't know how to make friends with people at all, apparently, I guess. And I never really had any friends growing up at all, so therefore I had no people to make a live-action movie with, which is why I started using The Sims to make all my videos. I actually did make a Sims 2 movie about The Grudge. It's called Legend of the Grudge, and I made it way back in year 2010. I'll have a link to it in the pinned comments. I was going to make a sequel to it at first, but nowadays I'm just thinking about making a new reboot to the movie and not having Legend of the Grudge be canon to it at all, because I don't really know where to go next with that story at all that was told in my 2010 movie Legend of the Grudge. But I haven't felt like making videos of The Sims 2 again, and in all honesty, I get so fucking annoyed whenever people ask me, oh, when are you going to make another video of The Sims 2? When are you going to make another video of The Sims 2? Because, as much as I hate to admit this, believe it or not, I actually have been in the mood to make a couple more videos of The Sims since it was so much fun. But then when people start asking me for it and start nagging me about it on YouTube and I get a comment like, oh, when are you making more Sim videos? It kind of pisses me off, and then it just sucks the motivation right out of me and I don't feel like making any more. So, it's kind of a counter effect, really. I just wish everyone would just shut up and stop asking me for them. Gosh. And it pisses me off because the whole point of all my YouTube videos, even with the Sims 2 ones, is for people to get to know me and get to know like how I'd react in certain situations. Because if you watch all of my Sims 2 horror movies, I almost always make myself the main character in all of them. The guy named Joe, who appears in every single one of my videos, Yeah, he's the same person as me, in case you're all wondering. And the fucked up thing is, a lot of people don't even realize that either. Which is why I didn't really want to make any more videos of The Sims lately. I mean, I might make one, but just stop bugging me for them, because when I feel like making them, and people tell me, are you going to make more Sim videos? When's your next Sim video coming out? It just sucks the motivation right out of me, and I don't feel like making one, and then I'm like, ugh, hell with this, I don't want to make one. So, yeah, that's the thing. But getting back to this girl who tried eating the live octopus, I was thinking, and this is because of my crazy autism imagination, I was thinking that if I ever made a fan film, a live action fan film based off of Ju-on in The Grudge, I was thinking she could play the part as the Grudge Girl, because she is an Asian girl and she has the long black hair. The only thing is she's way too young. Let me show you her picture again. She's not really that old. I mean, the Grudge is supposed to be like a grown woman. This girl looks more like she's... I'm not sure how old she looks, but she looks like she's like 12 or 11 or something. She might be older than that, but that's how old she looks. I mean, if she was 20 years older, she'd be perfect for the part, but... yeah, she's too young to play the Grudge. Because the thing is, when it's like a really young girl who's playing the Grudge, you tend not to find it very creepy, honestly. Because the Grudge is supposed to be creepy and terrifying, but when it's just a little kid crawling around making the weird, creepy noise, it's not as scary, honestly. Again, more of my weird autism mind saying things off the tip of my head. But you know what? Even if I was able to make a live action video and I had some people to help me make a live action scary movie and she actually wanted to play the part as the Grudge in my scary movie, because if she seriously wanted to, I would have her play the part as the Grudge. She wouldn't be able to travel to the USA to help me film my Grudge fan film if she lives in China, which she does live in China, because of travel restrictions that are currently in place right now. Yeah, no one from China is allowed to visit the USA because of the coronavirus, aka COVID-19. At least right now they're not allowed to, but once they get that all settled out, then they'll be able to. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not really complaining, like rightfully so, like you don't want that to spread everywhere, even though it already has. You don't want it to literally spread everywhere, because it hasn't really became a pandemic yet. That's what they're refusing to call it. I'm not really sure if that even matters, but I'm glad they're still trying to contain it at least, and keeping track of it. It's kind of scary, really. However, that brings me to my next point. She was trying to eat a live octopus, and that's kind of how the coronavirus came to exist, this strain of the coronavirus, because it came from people eating bats. That's where it came from. And the reason why the people were eating the bats is because this one thing that was going around called muck raking. I believe that's the term for it. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's when people eat like a lot of stuff right away, and it's supposed to like entertain people. I don't know how you get entertained by watching someone shove a bunch of food in their mouth. But over time, it got boring for them, so then they started eating more extreme things, like bats, instead. And bats carry bacteria and viruses inside of them that humans are not supposed to be exposed to. And that's kind of how the coronavirus came about, because there was a huge seafood market in Wuhan, China, that was selling like exotic meats, extremely exotic meats. People were eating like a lot of fucked up animals and shit like that, and that's how the coronavirus came to exist. Now, I know I'm being a bit hypocritical, honestly, because I ate octopus when I came down to Florida, But that's a bit different, though. The octopus was grilled and it was fried and everything. I'm not even sure how well these people are cooking these bats or even testing them to see, like, if they carry any viruses or diseases, because obviously they weren't. Otherwise, this wouldn't be going on right now. And it's messed up. But I'm not really too worried about it, but this is like my third time mentioning it in an episode of Joe Winko Talk in a row, because I already did 2 episodes of Joe Winko Talk about the coronavirus, and I'll have the links to those in the pinned comments as well. There's been more cases in the USA, including cases in Florida and in North Carolina, Georgia, New York, and New Hampshire. It's not good. Really not good. Right now, 9 people have died of coronavirus in the USA. I believe they were all old people, but I'm not entirely sure. I still need to double check that because the death toll shot up pretty fast. But the thing is, I'm not too concerned about it because I honestly do not think that I would ever die of the coronavirus.
Yes, you are going to die, and worms will fill your mouth.
But seriously, I don't think I would die of the coronavirus at all. Even though in my last episode of Joe Winko Talk that I did about the coronavirus, I said that I have like one health condition, type 1 diabetes. Coronavirus seems to be killing older people, like people who are elderly and who also have chronic conditions. Don't get me wrong, I still think everyone needs to be safe and wash their hands. I definitely don't want to catch the coronavirus. But I don't think I would actually die from it, because 80% of people survive the coronavirus and are able to recover from it. And the reason why I don't think I would die is because I'm only 24 years old. Well, only 24 years old. I mean, I do feel a bit old. But I'm only 24 years old. I mean, not as old as compared to the rest of the people out there. And what I read about the coronavirus, the people in their 20s who catch the coronavirus, they seem to recover pretty well. Like, I watched one video about this one guy who was like in his 20s and he lived in China. He caught the coronavirus and he took flu medication and he claimed that it worked, and then he eventually had the virus washed out of his system and he survived. And in addition to that, another person actually survived the coronavirus, but she was actually really old. It was a woman in her 90s who lived in China. She survived the coronavirus and she was actually discharged from the hospital. And I also remember one of the people who were aboard the Diamond Princess. He was an old man and he tested positive for the coronavirus, but he didn't even have any symptoms at all. I thought that was pretty shocking, really. But it's luck of the draw, really. You never really know how you're going to respond to a virus like that. It's still scary, though, and I'm still looking out for myself, but I'm not really that worried about it. I don't think I'm going to die of coronavirus, really. I hope I don't, so yeah, but I'm almost 100% sure that I would survive coronavirus. Honestly. But I still don't want to catch it, though, because it'd suck to be locked in quarantine. But if I ever did catch the coronavirus, however, you guys would definitely know about it. And it's actually scary because I actually had a dream a few nights ago. You guys know that huge scary building in Louisville, Kentucky, the Waverly Hill Sanitarium? It's this huge scary building in Louisville, Kentucky. It's actually kind of abandoned right now, and kind of abandoned, but it's like a somewhat of a landmark to the city of Louisville. They do haunted house tours there because it's owned by this one couple who lives in Louisville. They're saving up money to convert it into a luxury hotel, And I honestly always wanted to visit the Waverly Hill Sanitarium. I did get to go to it one time, but I couldn't really get that close to it because it was all like closed off and everything, and in order to get like really close to the building, you have to book a tour there. But I would love to do that, really. I don't really need to go inside the building, but I just wanted to go to the building, do a quick YouTube video in front of the building, and take a selfie by it. I'm pretty sure the owners wouldn't mind that at all if I booked a tour there and everything, so they'd be okay with it. But I had a dream that the coronavirus got really out of hand in the USA, and I had a dream that I got sick with the coronavirus, and I had a dream that they took me from my home and they sent me to the Waverly Hill Sanitarium in Louisville, Kentucky, and kept me there, and I was in quarantine. Now, that was really scary, honestly, because the Waverly Hill Sanitarium, it's a creepy place. I would not want to stay there. I would only want to be there for like an hour or two, but I would not want to stay there, really. Especially if I was like sick with a virus that might kill me and everything. But you know, if that was actually real, and they actually took me and locked me in the Waverly Hill Sanitarium, and kept me in quarantine in the Waverly Hill Sanitarium, that would make a kick-ass video blog, really. Wow. Again, my weird autism imagination. But, I spend most of my time by myself anyway, so I don't think I have to worry about catching the coronavirus, honestly. Plus, I always wash my hands and use hand sanitizer anyway. So, I'm in the clear. And I try to make a conscious effort not to touch my eyes or touch my nose or touch my mouth at all. Because that's nasty anyway. Seriously. So, that's basically it for this episode of Joe Winko Talk. I told you guys that I'd be rambling and be all over the place. But, let's get a conversation started in the comments. I'll try to reply to every single comment left on this video. And let's talk about some of the weird stuff I said in this video. What did you think of everything I talked about in this video? What did you think of the crazy girl who tried eating a live octopus? I mean, I thought that was fucking stupid, but I thought it was funny too. But I hope you guys liked this episode of Joe Winko Talk. So don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Tumblr. So that's it. Peace out, people.